Welcome to Tech News Today, a podcast about keeping you informed and empowered by giving you the latest tech stories that impact your daily life. We'll get started in a moment. First, we'd like to recognize our partners who help make these podcasts possible. It's Wednesday, November 7th. I'm Mike James. In just a bit, just when you thought it was safe to go back to Facebook, the creepometer rises again for Facebook. Plus, a batch of rogue apps has been found on the Google Play Store, and we'll take a closer look at smart homes and how they affect your privacy and security. We start with a creepy new feature that might be coming to social media. Have you ever noticed when scrolling through Facebook that it's always giving you suggestions on new people to connect with? Well, I'm sure you have. Most of the time, they're based on contacts in your phone or email account. Some of them are just friends of people you know, like your best friend's work associate or something like that. But you may not know the person, but usually you can kind of track them down to who they probably know in your life. But the Mirror has recently discovered a Facebook patent that would change the game on connecting people, and not in a good way. The patented feature would use technology already available in your gadget, like Bluetooth and NFC, or near-field communication. Oh sure, Facebook, this is what we need. Now listen to this. They'll suggest people who you've been physically near as a Facebook friend. So if you've ever been on an airplane, bus, a nightclub, or rubbed elbows with a stranger and forgot to get their personal information, well, Facebook to the rescue. Thank you, Facebook. Facebook makes money with your information. This is another way that they want to get more of your information. And don't forget the other vulnerable side of this. Imagine a stalker following you through a grocery store just to get physically close enough so he can get your information on social media and on down the line. This is not safe, it's not useful, it's a bad idea, and the good news, it's only a patent for right now. There's a chance that the social network will wise up and never actually implement it. But then again, Facebook is all about money. This is very interesting to me. The other day we told you about how Apple users are happier and spend more money on clothes and have more money and thinner hips and everything else. But here's the truth. Android gadgets outsell Apple by a long shot. Globally, 9 out of 10 smartphones are actually running various versions of Android. The sheer number of Android devices in the world make them the perfect target for cyber criminals. And that's why if you're looking to download an app, you should always get them from the official Google Play Store. It's much more secure than a third-party app store. However, sometimes rogue apps slip through the cracks and get through Google's screening process that can put your security at risk. In fact, a batch of apps were recently found in the Google Play Store that were actually banking Trojan apps in disguise. The apps we're talking about were available from August until early October. They've all been now removed, but in case you think you might have downloaded one, we have the list of infected apps on Commando.com. The malicious apps were masquerading as various utilities like battery managers, device cleaners, even daily horoscope apps, and much, much more. If you'd like a complete list, go to Commando.com. The article's titled, "These Google Play Store apps are banking Trojans in disguise." It'll give you all the information that you need, including how to remove the apps and how to clean up your device. Just ahead, ever thought about getting a smart home? There's plenty of ups I'm sure you've heard about, but next we're going to talk to you about the darker side of having a smart home. Right now, let me tell you about saving money on healthcare with MediShare. Saving money is important, but it's weird how sometimes we go to great lengths to save a few bucks and ignore the ways that we can save a life-changing amount of money. So if you switch to MediShare for your healthcare, you could save $500 a month. That's the typical savings for a family. There's a reason MediShare is growing so fast. It's because it works. Go to MediShare.com or call 855-25-SHARE. That's 855-25-SHARE. 855-25-SHARE or MediShare.com. So, do you have any smart devices in your home yet? Smart gadgets like light bulbs, smart assistant speakers, thermostats, cameras, and door locks have made life much more convenient. But are we trading convenience for privacy and security? There are some recent disheartening incidents that might make you think so. Believe it or not, we've seen reports from domestic abuse victims claiming they were stalked and harassed by their partners through, among other things, smart appliances, even smart speakers, security cameras, doorbells, lights, thermostats. One woman recently told her story to CBS News. The home she lived in with her ex was full of smart devices. All of them could be controlled from anywhere by using apps on her ex's gadget. She said that he was able to monitor using surveillance cameras that were placed all over the house, even remotely. He could log into the apps from thousands of miles away to keep an eye on her. She said that even after they split up, he would terrorize her using the smart gadgets. She'd be woken up in the middle of the night to blaring music over the smart speakers. He would also turn appliances off while she was trying to use them and make the lights flicker constantly to cause her fear and anxiety. She said that she didn't know how to stop the abuse because he was the only one that set up the entire system, and she didn't know how to shut it down without losing the ability to use everything in the house. Well, that makes sense. This is just one reported case. There are many others out there. One psychologist told the CBC that technology in the hands of an abuser can quickly turn into a method of control. If you or someone you know is being abused by this type of technology, you can contact anti-violence advocates. They've been trained to handle these types of situations. Do you ever find yourself staring at your gadget screen more than you should? Many of us, of course, are guilty of this. But what about your kids? Are they spending too much time using electronic devices? If so, you'd think it would really impact how much or well they sleep. Many parents believe that excessive screen time is linked to children not getting the rest that they need. A recent study shows that that is not the case. Research at the Oxford Internet Institute resulted in findings that go against what most people have believed for years. Parents across the United States answered questions about their households and their family's use of technology. The findings were teenagers who spent 8 hours per day staring at a screen only slept slightly less than teens who don't stare at screens at all. And there's only about a half-hour difference in sleep for the two groups. But the study is under fire. Other groups are saying this is flawed data and it cannot be trusted. For example, the Journal of Pediatrics published a different study not long ago that contradicts this new one. That study says that every hour of screen time is linked to between 3 and 8 minutes of lost sleep every night. But who do you believe? The best thing to do is take every child on a case-by-case situation, and of course it's a good idea to monitor kids' screen time and sleep. Have you already made plans for the holidays? If not, you might want to check out this new babysitting gig. I said babysitting gig. This one is extra special. There's an app that lets parents find babysitters and babysitters find jobs called Bubble. Like the dream job of a lifetime. One parent posted an ad looking for a babysitter over Christmas. And get this, you would be joining the family on an all-expense-paid trip to the Bahamas. The job involves spending 2 weeks in the Bahamas and taking care of 2 toddlers at breakfast and at bedtime. The ad also said the job comes with a generous pay package that includes a hotel suite and airfare. Not only that, but you'd get free time during the day and even some evenings. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it turns out that lots of people think so too, but Bubble said its app has been overwhelmed with responses to that ad, which isn't surprising. Who wouldn't want to spend Christmas in paradise at no cost getting paid? What is surprising, at the time this podcast was recorded, the gig has not been filled yet, so you may still have a chance to go to the Bahamas for Christmas. Good luck. Coming up, are children being tracked through their gadgets? Right now, a quick thank you to our friends who helped make this podcast possible. So have you been on pins and needles waiting to find out where Amazon's second headquarters will be built? Well, me neither, but the online retail giant has been flirting with multiple cities for over a year now, and they're trying to find the perfect location. It's been kind of like a sweepstake of sorts for potential locations, as the company says. It will hire around 50,000 employees and spend nearly $5 billion wherever HQ2 lands. And they are said to be pretty well-paying jobs, too. The average salary for these positions pays over $100,000 per year. Can you imagine what that would do for a local economy? That's why mayors and local politicians have been rolling out the red carpet for Amazon, trying to woo them to choose their city. Rumor has it Amazon has decided to split these two headquarters now and everything that comes with them between two cities. There will be a new headquarters, 2 and 3 is what they're saying now. 25,000 jobs will be added to each of the 2 new campuses, and the winning locations have yet to be announced, but New York, Dallas, and Crystal City in Virginia appear to still be high on the list. According to a Wall Street Journal article, Amazon is doing this for a couple of reasons. One is to make sure that there's enough tech talent in the area, and the other is to ease worries about not enough housing and causing major traffic nightmares in just one host city. This does, however, raise some questions about incentives that potential locations have now offered the company, mainly huge tax breaks for bringing the headquarters to their city. Will splitting the jobs between 2 communities impact the incentives that Amazon receives? It'll be interesting to find out how that all plays out. I'm sure you know by now, by listening to us at Tech News Today, that pretty much every move you make online is being tracked for one reason or another. Companies like Google and Facebook track people to find out what they're interested in so they can provide them with targeted ads. And unless we take precautions and find ways to opt out of this tracking, it's happening to all of us. And what about kids? Are they being tracked? Well, sadly, of course, the answer is yes. A recent study by Oxford University showed that apps designed for kids are loaded with third-party trackers. Study looked at 1 million Android apps downloaded from the US and UK's Google Play Store. It found that apps used mostly by children have some of the highest numbers of third-party trackers of any app category. Apps that are listed in the family category had a median of 7 trackers each. The good news is people are fighting back. Child advocacy groups filed a complaint with the FTC earlier this year, alleging Google is making money by collecting data from children who use YouTube. They're asking for regulations to be put in place to stop kids from being tracked, and we'll let you know in the future podcasts if any changes are made. Hey, did you know that every time you like or share one of our podcasts, our ratings go up? It's a totally free way that you can show your support of what we do, and we would appreciate that. Just give us a like or share us on Facebook, Twitter, whatever you have. We do thank you. And finally, for today's Commando Kicker, you know the stereotypical image of a little green alien with big black eyes and a skinny body. Well, now alien life may be purple. According to new research, the first life on Earth might have had a lavender hue. Before green plants started harnessing the sun for energy, tiny purple organisms figured out a way to do the same. Astronomers have discovered thousands of new extrasolar planets recently that are developing the ability to see green life, but they may need to start looking for purple life. But I don't see the possibility of that green alien turning purple anytime soon. And for more interesting facts, go to Commando.com, search for the Commando Kicker. That's our tech news for today, and check out our other podcast, History in the Highway with Stan Ellsworth. This week, it's all about the Industrial Revolution, the American Industrial Revolution, which created the American dream and basically changed Americans' politics forever. So in this episode of History in the Highway, host Stan Ellsworth looks back at the start of the American Industrial Revolution. From its humble beginnings in Great Britain to the textile mills in New England, the shift from handmade to machine-made products started a whole new era in America and has an impact that is still happening today. History in the Highway podcast, you can get it on your favorite podcast player, on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or podnet.com. Thanks. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.